The money that was made couldn't be scared money. I had no one to put up the bread for me. It's hot on the block, still milking change from it. If it ain't about the guap, I stay away from it. I ain't a stoner, but I smoke a little bit. Relieve the stress when I roll up the spliff. We've been the corners from whenever the wind. Spin the block, then we at it again. The hustle don't stop, it's round the clock here. When it comes to getting paper, we denounce fear. I know that's a big word, very cavalier. Big wheels on the curb, we park it right there. Spark the tree in front of NYPD. It's legal now, fuck they gon' do to me. On my hip of 1 to 3, I ain't risking my life. Plotting and scheming, these cowards wishing I hide. I'm outside, middle of summer, chain sparking like the 4th of July. Parking lot look like the DuPont, a fortunate guy. My fortune the size of Scrooge McDuck. I'm swimming in women, I'm lapping it up like the girls in the back of the Rolls Royce truck. The money that was made couldn't be scared money. I had no one to put up the bread for me. It's hot on the block, still milking change from it. If it ain't about the guap, I stay away from it. I ain't a stoner, but I smoke a little bit. Relieve the stress when I roll up the spliff. We've been the corners from whenever the wind. Spin the block, then we at it again.
Hey yo, look, rest in peace to Barbara Davis. We hit another layer. When she speak to me, it's like she's saying prayers. I feel like Randy Moss when he was on the Raiders. Man, they love the haters. This woman so fine, I give her cash payments. Baby, I'm just so glued to the basics. I wanted more room, so I copped the crib sitting adjacent. In this whole world, I'm Freddie Jason. I'm sitting in the places of great but never complacent. Yeah, baby, I'm a stoner. Yeah, I took that long walk up the hill that made me a loner. And nah, baby, I don't like being humble. I hang with mongrels. Gotta pay attention, there's a God sitting amongst you and you know it.
The money that was made couldn't be scared money. I had no one to put up the bread for me. It's hot on the block, still milking change from it. If it ain't about the guap, I stay away from it. I ain't a stoner, but I smoke a little bit. Relieve the stress when I roll up the spliff. We've been the corners from whenever the wind. Spin the block, then we at it again.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our football segment of episode 139 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. We'll get back to our news around the league, man. We appreciate y'all for staying tuned with us, man, while we fight the Chinese weather balloons and stuff. We got a few things we're going to talk about.
The best way to fight them?
Like, follow, subscribe.
Hooray,
and drink.
beer. And like,
Hooray
follow,
for
subscribe.
beer.
You're right.
So we got some news. We're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to have our final Super Bowl conversation. Keep talking about this. But I only reason I want to talk about it because I got to address the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. Everything else is, I don't really care, but I'm definitely going to address Shanahan being a punk. Then we also, but before we get there, let's talk about, I want to have this discussion, and I'm going to put this right here so that you guys can reference it. Georgia State head coach Sean Elliott has resigned to become the tight ends coach at South Carolina 2 days into spring practices at Georgia State. This is not the first one. I was actually, the reason we stayed on break for so long because I was looking for it. I think it's Texas Southern's defensive coordinator. Might not be Texas Southern. One of the defensive coordinators from the SWAC is leaving to become a linebackers coach. I'm just going to say linebackers coach. I can't remember what it is. Leaving to become a linebackers coach. Then you also have FAMU's coach leave and go to Duke to become the running backs coach. So there is a growing trend of head coaches. I mean, Boston College coach came to. Yeah, Boston College coach left to become the defensive coordinator at Michigan, I want to say. Yes. So with all of those things happening, you're seeing more and more coaches leave leading positions, head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, to become position coaches at bigger schools. I think I don't. This is a trend I really didn't see coming, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, man, because we kind of get it. I work for big insurance companies and I work for little insurance companies. When you work for the little insurance company, you're right. You have a lot more power. You have a lot more, say so. And when you go to a bigger one, a lot of times they'll compensate you pretty well and give you less responsibility. So it is career choices. Now, in this case, you're a coach, man, and you've recruited a bunch of players and you've gotten to spring ball. And then for you to get to the second day of spring ball and just dip.
I think they had like the number 3 transfer portal class in all of FCS, or top 10. We'll say top 10.
The frustrating part is I've been a person who's believed in Georgia State since before they had athletics. I always said that eventually I feel like they will overtake definitely Georgia Tech. And I think that, there's a road to overtake Georgia because there are just so many good kids in Atlanta who just don't get a chance to play. And if you recruit well enough, it's going to take some time. It might take 20 or 30 years, but if you get your money right, then yeah, you can definitely do something just because of your location. I mean, at the end of the day, do you want to play football in Atlanta? Or do you want to play football in Athens?
The way football is now is not about where you play. Being a coordinator is also low risk to improve your reputation. Yeah, you're right. It's not about where you play. It's about who can pay the most. And right now, the SEC in Georgia will be forever. They don't win championships now. And bring in a lot of money. They are forever.
That is the other part. Georgia hadn't won championships when I was talking about this. But like there is a road to Georgia State being in the ACC in the foreseeable future.
I don't understand why they haven't. Well, I do understand because being in this league, you're closer to a lot of teams when it comes to logistics and travel. But you could go do the American Conference right now. Like you could go. Yeah. You could go from. What are they?
They need more. They need a little bit more money and a little bit more wins. It's a way you can get to where you're trying to get to pretty reasonably if you stay the course.
But my point about Georgia State is, you made 2 points. It's spring ball. Like spring ball has started. 1. Early signing day is over. National signing day is over. The portal is over, right? The only rule is you can now go into the portal for 30 days to try to go somewhere else. But they've already got all their players. The players, no shade, but the players that's in the portal now probably not going to play. Weren't going to play because there's only out of all of this money that's there, all of this wild amount of money, there's still a finite amount of scholarships. And no matter what boosters try to pay for all these players that don't have scholarships, it's going to be a reason that the defensive end from Alabama is going to get the scholarship versus you may get booster money. You may get $100,000 from the booster, but you ain't going to play.
It's unfortunate.
He screwed them over, man. To me, he screwed them over.
And you're going to go to South Carolina. I mean, good luck, buddy, but it's not like y'all going to win anything over there.
Well, so there's a little bit of a backstory on that, though. So he was a tight ends coach 2 years ago before taking this job. 1, 2, his family still lives in South Carolina. So
that's fair.
There's a personal element, which is fine. But if I'm a kid on that team, I don't give a damn about your personal element. I've moved my whole life here because I believed in what you told me, and you left 2 days into practice. Can you imagine a true freshman who had a chance to go to Georgia State or somewhere else? And you decided, well, he told me I was going to be able to play as a freshman. I'm going to come here because I can play as a freshman.
But
right?
I'm going to tell you, this don't look like the man you should cuss out. Looks like you should just take your L and go home.
There's another, man, shit. At night, if I'm a
All right.
6'5" defensive end, listen, we can tussle.
He look like, yeah.